right, we the Hebrew Israelites. We come to prophesy weeks in and weeks out concerning the downfall of America in season and out of season. In season and out of season. To edify you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans. And let you know, according to the biblical prophecies, that you are the nation of Israel. You are the children of Israel that the Bible speaks of. God's chosen people. All right? We give double honors to the elders. We say salutations to the brothers that's preaching and teaching this truth in sincerity. And last but not least, get that out. We give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Appreciate it, y'all. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. All right? So without further ado, we're going straight into the lesson. For the ones that's listening on Facebook Live, you can take notes if you will. Get your Bibles out, prepare yourselves, prepare your minds, because we're about to get into it. All right? Once again, who we out here for? The lost tribes of Israel, man. The blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, primarily speaking. You understand? But we edifying all nations because we also have confusion of faces of Israelites out here. You understand? So when they step up, we edifying everybody, man, because the Spirit gonna bear witness with our spirit to know if they Israelites or not. Okay, so we're gonna get into the lesson, man. All right. And so give me prove all things. Give me that out. Give me that where it says prove all things. Where is that at? I know it's in Timothy, right? It says prove all things. No, not Timothy. 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. In the New Testament. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and 21. Go ahead.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Prove all things.
It says prove all things. That's what we out here for. We not out here for a joke and to be seen, man. We out here to prove all things. We out here to compel the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which are you blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans. We out here to prove all things. We out here to show you that you have been misled, that you have been misinformed, that you have been misled down the drain by your enemies, the heathen, man. And now is your time and opportunity to get some knowledge under your belts. You understand? Now is your time and opportunity to arise from this deception, to arise from the snares and strongholds of these lies that the enemies, that the white man, which are the Edomites, have given you, man. You understand? Now's the time. Go ahead, what it is, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21, come on.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Prove all things.
Prove all things. That's what exactly we're going to do. Using this Bible, we're going to prove all things. Read on.
Hold fast that which is good.
Hold fast to what which is good, man, which is the commandments. That's the only thing that's going to benefit you, the commandments. You understand? Hold fast to that which is good. Read on out.
In verse 22.
That's it. So we're going to prove all things. Now I'm going to go back into some history. I'm going to school you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I'm going to school you a little bit on some history, man. Because the Bible is a history book. You feel what I'm saying? So the Bible is a history book, and if you don't know history, you're not going to be able to enter and understand the Bible. Okay, so give me in Romans where it says in Romans, it says it was talking about was for our learning. We'll talk about it in Romans. You know what I want. Go ahead and give me that. If I don't find it first. I believe it's Romans in 15 and 4. Try Romans 15 and 4.
Yes.
Read, what it say?
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
See that? Whatsoever things that was written aforetime. Aforetime means the past. That's what aforetime means. It means the past. It means something that happened before you was born. Past events, the former time. You understand? Romans 15:4. Read it again up.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning.
Was written for your learning. Now, what was the things that were written aforetime? Because we going back in history. The things that was written, anything that is written is recorded. So what was the thing that was written in the past? What was the thing that was written aforetime? In the ancient times, so to speak. The ancient scrolls of the prophets. What you would call the Tanakh. Or many may call the Old Testament. Okay? Let me get that. This right here is called the Tanakh. The Holy Scriptures. Another word for the Tanakh, they call it the Old Testament, which was really called the Old Covenant. And those are the 39 books, beginning with the book of Genesis, going all the way to the book of Malachi. The Old Testament, or what you call the Old Covenant, or what you may call also the Tanakh, consists of 39 books. From Genesis to Malachi, 39 books. Those are the books that was written aforetime. Those are the scrolls by the prophets that was written aforetime for your learning. According to Romans 15:4. Read Romans 15:4 once again.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4.
For
whatsoever things are written aforetime.
Whatsoever things was written aforetime. It's what was written aforetime is what you call the Tanakh, or the Old Testament, or the Old Covenant, which is 39 books from Genesis to Malachi. That was written aforetime. And it said in Romans 15:4, if it was written aforetime, it was written for your learning, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
And it was written for our learning. So a lot of people ask this question. They say, why do y'all read the Bible? Why do y'all study the Bible? Because the Bible is supposed to be for your learning, man. You understand? These Old Testamental booklets, you know, that was written by the prophets, supposed to be for your edification, supposed to be for your knowledge, supposed to be for your learning, man. The Bible is not some novel book. The Bible is not some magazine, you understand? Alright? The Bible ain't just some book, man. The Bible is a history book of the Israelites, which are blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. And these things that was written aforetime are supposed to be for your learning. The black man, the Hispanic man, the Native American man, and the Native American woman, Hispanic man. Basically, so, to wrap it up in a nutshell, the people are Negroid and Indian in descent, man. Niggers and Mexicans, man. And Native Americans, which are the Israelites. This is supposed to be for your learning. Now, I'm going to go into the Tanakh and show you. I'm going to break it down because we're dealing with history. So I had to give you Romans 15:4 because I had to show you that it was things that was written aforetime that we supposed to be learning from. And this is what you call the Tanakh, or what many may call the Old Testament, or some may call it also the Old Covenant. So when you go into the Tanakh, I don't know if you see it. It said the Tanakh. I'm gonna break it down. Let me flip it around. We see Big June is watching, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Peace and much love. Share the video, man. Glad to have you. Glad to have you tuned in, my brother. Much love. Okay, wait a minute, just a second. So you see right here it said the Tanakh, right? All right, okay, I hope you guys can see it. It says the Tanakh, the Holy Scriptures. Now, what does Tanakh mean? What does Tanakh means? I'm gonna show you. So when we go into it, Hope you guys can see this, man. I'm trying to school you guys. All right, let me turn it around. All right. As you can see it right there, it says Tanakh. Hope you guys can see that. Tanakh. Wait a minute, the wind is blowing pretty strong out here, so y'all just bear along with me. Tanakh is an acronym of the first Hebrew letter. I want you guys to really see it. Tanakh is an acronym of the first Hebrew letter of each of the Masoretic texts. 3 traditional subdivisions. So, what you call the Tanakh, or what many may call the Old Testament or the Old Covenant, is broken down in 3 subdivisions. All right? It's broken down in 3 traditional subdivisions. All right, and you have the Torah. See that? The first one is the Torah. The Torah is, in Hebrew, known as teaching. So you have the Torah, and then also, you know, it says the Torah, also known as the first 5 books of Moses. See that? And so we breaking down the Old Testament, or what you call the Tanakh or Old Covenant, which is 3 subdivisions. The first subdivision is the Torah, which is the first 5 books of Moses. So let me show you the first 5 books of Moses. Let me show you guys the first 5 books of Moses. It's the first 5 books of Moses is from Genesis. It's from Genesis to Deuteronomy. We should know that, but I'm gonna show you guys. I want you to see it. Okay, so here's the first 5 books of Moses. All right. The first 5 books of Moses. Genesis is talks about the beginnings, how everything was formulated, how all the nations came about, you know, that started through progenitors or whatnot. This is Genesis, the book of Genesis, the book of the beginnings. Okay, that consists of the Torah. All right. Also, after the book of Genesis, you have the book of Exodus. You have Exodus. After the book of Exodus, you have a book that's known as Leviticus. And after the book of Leviticus, you have a book that's known as Numbers. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the summary of the nation of Israel, Numbers. And after the book of Numbers, you have a book which is the last of the Torah. This kind of like the revelation of the Torah, which is Deuteronomy. You understand? Deuteronomy is known as the second book of the law, which was given to the Israelites. So Deuteronomy is basically laws and instructions that was given to Israel so that we may follow them to prevent from being cursed as a nation. And also, even though I went over Leviticus already, but Leviticus is the first book of the law, Deuteronomy being the second book of the law. So the first 5 books from Genesis to Deuteronomy is called a Torah. I'm trying to school you guys. So the first 5 books of the Bible is known as the Torah. Torah in Hebrew, Torah means teachings. Alright? So there you go. Or some may say in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Tharara. Tawara. Or some may say Tharara in the Hebrew, which means teachings. And these are the first 5 books of Moses, from Genesis to Deuteronomy, which is called a Torah. And that's where you get the T at. That's where you get the T in Tanakh. So that's the Torah, the first 5 books, T. Because we told you that the Old Testament, or what many may call the Old Covenant or the Tanakh, it's broken down in 3 subdivisions. And so you got the T, which is the Torah, or the Torah, which is the teachings that was given to the Israelites, right? What is the second subdivision? All right. So we doing some history out here, man. You understand? So what is the second subdivision of what you call the Old Testament or the Torah. Or the Tanakh. What is the second sort of vision? I'm going to show you the second sort of vision. Watch this. Appreciate your time, man. We appreciate y'all. All right, guys. The second soul of the vision is called the Nevi'im. See right here? It says Nevi'im. Nevi'im, which means prophets. So that would be the second soul of the vision of the Tanakh, which is the prophets. Now I'm going to show you the prophets, because you got minor and major prophets. So let me show you the minor prophets first. And it's actually 12 minor prophets. So I'm going to show you the minor prophets. The minor prophets is from wait a minute. Hosea all the way to Malachi, which is 12 minor prophets. All right? So here we go. You got these are all the minor prophets, which makes up the Nevi'im, right? So here we go. You see where it says Hosea? I don't know if you guys can see it. It says Hosea. Hosea was a minor prophet. So we're going to go through the 12 minor prophets, and then we'll go through the major prophets, which makes up the Nevi'im. So Hosea, he was a minor prophet, right? Who else was minor prophets? Going through them real fast. Joel. Joel was a minor prophet, right? Who else was a minor prophet? Hope you guys can see this. Amos. Amos. He was a minor prophet. All right? Who else was a minor prophet to the Israelites? And all these was black men. All these was black men, what you call niggas today. All right? Obadiah. Obadiah was a minor prophet. Who else? Jonah. Jonah was a minor prophet. All these was Israelites, guys, from the nation of Israel. Who else? Micah was a minor prophet. Who else was a minor prophet besides Micah? Nahum was a minor prophet. After Nahum, you have Habakkuk, or some may say Habakkuk, was a minor prophet for the nation of Israel. All these were Israelite prophets. It's not a prophet in the Bible that wasn't an Israelite. Next, you got Zephaniah, a minor prophet. After Zephaniah, you got Haggai. After Haggai, you have Zechariah. Zechariah, minor prophet. After Zechariah, then we get to the last book of the Old Testament, which is Malachi, right? So from Hosea to Malachi is 12 minor prophets. So I already broke them down to you. And those minor prophets would be the second subdivision of what you call the Tanakh, or many may call the Old Testament, or some may call the Old Covenant. Because I told you these 39 books of the Old Testament, which is known as the Tanakh, is broken down in 3 subdivisions. What's the first subdivision? What's the first subdivision that we went over? We went over the Torah, or what you call the Torah, which is the teachings, which is from Genesis to Deuteronomy, which was written by Moses, right? So we went over that first subdivision. The second subdivision, which makes up the Tanakh, or what you call the Old Covenant, or Old Testament, is what? The Nevi'im, dealing with what? The minor and major prophets. The minor prophets was 12 total. We already went over them. So let's grab the major prophets, which makes up the Nevi'im. Again, hope you guys are paying attention. Write it down. I don't care. Take lessons. Take notes if you want to. This is for your edification. All right? So you see, we are on the second subdivision, which is the Nevi'im, dealing with the prophets. We already broken down 12. So we got to grab what? We got to grab the major prophets. Because it was not only 12 minor prophets, it was major prophets. So let's grab those major prophets. So now we're going to Isaiah. Isaiah was a major prophet. Isaiah was a black man. All the people of the book, all the people of the Bible was black people. You understand? You just ain't been taught that today. So now we're going to Isaiah, right? So let's go to Isaiah, which is in the Old Testament, right? So when we go to Isaiah, all right, these are major prophets. Because your church ain't going to teach you, your Christian church ain't going to teach you this. They too damn busy trying to take your money. All right, check this out. Isaiah in Hebrew is Yeshaya, okay? Yeshaya. You see that? Isaiah, he was a major prophet. We already went over the minor ones. Isaiah is a major prophet. What's after Isaiah? Jeremiah, so let's get that. After Isaiah, you have Jeremiah, or what you may call Jeremiah, or Jeremiah, or Jeremiah. See that? So there's a second major prophet. Do we have a third major prophet? Absolutely. So after the book of Jeremiah, what is the third major prophet? Because we gotta, before we can move on to the third major prophet, I must tell you guys, I have to inform you guys, after the book of Jeremiah, you're going to run into a book that's called Lamentations. Let me show you. You're going to run into a book that's called Lamentations, which also, you know, would be credited toward Jeremiah too. The book called Lamentations. And then after Lamentations, then we got what you call Ezekiel. Watch, let me show you. You got Ezekiel. He was a prophet. So we done went over Isaiah, we went over Jeremiah, and now we on what? We on Ezekiel. He was a major prophet. And all these people was prophets to the nation of Israel. So when you read the Bible, these are not just random prophets. These prophets was prophets to their nation. These men was prophesying things to the nation of Israel, telling the nation of Israel to stop sinning, telling the nation of Israel to clean up, telling the nation of Israel to get their shit together because back in the day, man, you think it's evil now. I agree, it's much more evil now today than it was in the ancient times, but it was off the charts in the ancient times too. And when people were sinning and grinning, these prophets would not just go to any people. These prophets, they went to their nation, they went to their nation, which was the nation of Israel, to tell them warnings from God to stop sinning. That's what prophets are. See, when you break down the word prophet, Pro is before, and foresee is to say before. So they was trying to tell their nation, which was the nation of Israel, things was going to happen to them if they didn't stop sinning before it happened to them. That God was going to punish them. And we going over them. So we have last of the major prophets, last but not least, one of the greatest prophets of all time. Last but not least, you guessed it, it is Daniel. Daniel. So let me grab that for you. Let me grab Daniel for you. Cause it ain't in order like the revised Bibles. The book of Daniel. Let me find it right quick. Let me find it for you guys. All right, wait a minute. I just had it. Sorry for the procrastination of time. But Daniel, he was a major prophet too, y'all. Wait a minute, I'm trying to... Y'all bear along with me. The wind is blowing out here. I'm trying to work with this camera. I got it on the tripod. My posters are blowing. You know what I'm saying? All kind of noise is going on. It's really rough out here trying to teach it. Last but not least, I'm trying to find this book called Daniel. Okay, so okay. Alright, here we go. Because it's very difficult to find Daniel in the Tanakh than what you got the King James Bible. So here it is. This is the last major prophet right here. Daniel. So many may call the 39 books the Old Testament. Many may call the 39 books the Old Covenant. And many may call the 39 books the Tanakh. How do you get the word Tanakh? Again, guys. Again. How do you get the word Tanakh? You get the word T from Torah, which is the first 5 books from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Torah, which is the teachings that was given to the Israelites, the laws. Thus Torah, you got the T. And then there's no A's in the Hebrew. There's no what you call vowels in the Hebrew, like A-E-I-O-U. There's no vowels in the Hebrew. So we skip the vowels. And then you go to the end. Where do you get the end from? You get the end from the Nevi'im, which is the major and minor prophets. That's the second subdivision of what you call the 39 books. So what is the third subdivision of the 39 books? The third subdivision is the Ketuvim or the Ketuvim, which means the writings, as you can see right there. The Ketuvim, which means the writings. Hence, we have Tanakh. So here we go. The Torah, which is the 5 books of Moses. And then the Hebrew language do not have vowels in it, so we skip past the A. Then you got the N, which is the Nevi'im, which is what? The major and minor prophets. Thus again, the Hebrew don't have vowels, so we leave the A out. And then we to the K now. What is the K? The Ketuvim, which deals with the writings. And then we don't worry about the H. So Tanakh. This what makes up the Tanakh, what you call the 39 books. The 39 books of the Old Testament. This is what it's really called. It ain't called the Old Testament. It's really called the Tanakh. So when people see this, they go crazy. They be like, what the hell is that? See, that's how uneducated Christians are, man. Because if I showed this right now to a church person, they'll say, man, that ain't reading that book. That ain't the Bible. Because they don't have, matter of fact, give me Hosea 4:6 out. Let's see what he said. Let's see what the prophet Hosea said in chapter 4, verse 6. Because if I showed this to somebody that go to church, they'll say, man, that look like another a book. That ain't the Bible. It is the Bible. But see, you're not familiar with the word Tanakh. Because you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're not familiar with your native language. Because you were speaking Hebrew and you are the Israelites. You understand? And this is the instruction to our nation, man. Give me Hosea 4:6. I'll read it.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
What did the prophet Hosea say?
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
See, now Hosea was a minor prophet. See, if you were listening, you would know that Hosea was a minor prophet. And what he said that his people, who is Hosea people? The Israelites, man. Who are the Israelites today? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos. Hosea said what?
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So you damn right. If a Christian see this book, if a Christian man or a Christian woman see this book, 9 times out of 10, they gonna take off. You understand? They gonna take off. When they see this book, they not gonna read it. Because guess what we've been prone to? You understand? We've been prone to, when we come across stuff like this, it says KJV, King James, or the Holy Bible. That's what we've been prone to. That's what we've been prone to. Newsflash. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years in the ancient times, it was not called the Holy Bible. It was not called the Holy Bible. A lot of Christians don't even know what the word Bible means. You understand? Even though they may say, oh, the Bible is an acronym, it means basic instructions before leaving earth. That sounds good, but that's not actually what the word Bible means. See what I'm saying? Because our people perish for the lack of knowledge. You go into that goddamn Christian church every Sunday, Sunday in, Sunday out, you ain't learning the goddamn thing. You understand? Because the Christian church not going to teach you your nationality. They're not going to teach you your heritage. They're not going to teach you to keep the laws, which was given to you as a nation. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They're not going to teach you that. The Christian church is more like a systematic thing. It's more focusing on commerce and finance. That's all it's focusing on. It's not concerned about your salvation and your spirit, your soul. They don't give a damn about that. The Christian church in today is more like a business. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no damn better than a club. You feel what I'm saying? We out here to save a lot of our people from destruction and give the true knowledge. You understand? So next time, Christian man, Christian woman, or anybody in the Christian church, when you come across one of these books, don't think it's a devilish book. Don't think it's a book that don't benefit you. This is nothing but the 39 books of the Old Testament. But you wouldn't know that because it says Tanakh on the front. But that's what they called it before they was calling it the Old Testament. That's what they called it before they was calling it an Old Covenant. This is the ancient word for the 39 books from Genesis to Malachi. This is the ancient word for that. But see, you've been contemporary custom in your mind. Everything you have grown to know is contemporary. You don't know about the former times. You see that? So your mind ain't trained to know the ways of the ancient. Your mind ain't trained to know about the former things. Things before you was here. Things, the days of your ancestors. Your mind ain't prone. All you know is about a Holy Bible. Anything with Holy Bible on it, you willing to accept. But if you see this right here, you think it ain't got nothing to do with the Holy Bible. This is the real ancient word for the 39 books of the Old Testament, Tanakh, which consists of 3 subdivisions. Now, I didn't go over the writings. The writings, which is the Ketuvim. I didn't go over the writings, but you should know what the writings is. The writings, let me give you a rundown on these writings, which is the Ketuvim. The writings is like Joshua. Let me show you the writings, guys. The writings, the Nevi'im, we went over the prophets. You understand? The writings are like, right here, which is the Ketuvim, the writings, like Psalms, Proverbs, Job, the Songs of Solomon, Ruth, you know what I'm saying, Lamentations, Ecclesiastics, Esther. Now Daniel would be a major prophet, but he's also listed in the Ketuvim. Then you got Ezra, Nehemiah, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Those would be considered as the Ketuvim, the writings. You see what I'm saying? Now, how many subdivisions I told you make up the Tanakh, what many call the Old Testament? How many? 3. The Tanakh makes up 3 subdivisions, again, which ultimately is 39 books. The Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim. Then, after you get to know these 39 books, then you don't go straight into the New Testament. Because that's another problem that we have in America today. After you get finished with from Genesis to Malachi, after it ends with Malachi, it don't jump straight into the Gospels. It goes into what you know as the Apocryphal. Alright? So after you finish reading from Genesis to Malachi, many believe that it jumps straight into the Gospels, but it don't go into the Gospels directly. It goes into the Apocryphal books. How many Apocryphal books are there? 14 total. And I'm going to give you the rundown on these 14 Apocryphal books. So, newsflash. It don't go from Genesis to Malachi, which is 39 books, and then jump directly into the Gospel Matthew. It don't do that. It goes from Genesis to Malachi, which is what you call the Tanakh, or the Old Testament, or the Old Covenant. And then after they get on the last book of the 39, which is Malachi, it goes into the Apocrypha. It don't go into the Gospels. Now you may be saying, well, when I get to the last book of the Old Testament is Malachi, right? You may say, well, in my Bible, it goes from Malachi to the Gospel Matthew in my Bible. You know why? Because you got a Protestant Bible. You have a Protestant Bible. If you have a Protestant Bible, it don't have the Apocryphal books in it. Or if you have an Anglican Bible, it don't have the Apocryphal books in it. And most Bibles that we read today, show you what I'm talking about. Wait a minute, guys. Let me see that. Most Bibles that we read today, this is facts. You can argue with me all you want to. Cause arguing with me, you're gonna look like a damn fool. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's just best to listen to what I'm telling you. The Bibles that we read today is most likely Protestant Bibles. The Protestant Bibles don't have the Apocrypha in it. So check your Bible to see if you have these books listed in your Bible. If you don't come across these books, you have a Protestant Bible or you have an Anglican Bible. Now, what if you come across these books in your Bible? What if you happen to come across these books in your Bible? Which is rare, it's very rare. If you happen to come across these books in your Bible after the Old Covenant, after the Old Testament, Malachi being the last testamental book, and then you flip over from the book of Malachi, and it says the Apocryphal. If you happen to come across that Bible, that's called a non-Protestant Bible. Most likely it would be this. It would be what you call the King James 1611 edition. Watch this. So if you have a Bible with the Apocrypha inside of it, most likely it's going to be a Bible that was printed before the 1800s. Because all the Bibles after the 1800s, the Roman Catholic Church removed the Apocryphal books. So if you have a Bible, most likely with the Apocryphal books inside of them, then you already know that that Bible was published before the 18th century. You see what I'm saying? That would be your King James 1611 edition. That would be the Geneva Bible. That would be also the Tyndale Bible going all the way back. Backing all the way up from the 1700s, going all the way back, your Bible will have the Apocryphal books in it. But if you got a Bible after the 18th century, if you have a Bible after the 1800s, guess what? You have a Protestant Bible. And they don't have the Apocryphal books inside of them because Many don't know what happened with the Catholic Church dealing with the Protestant Reformation. The Catholic Church had what you call a Protestant Reformation. You had a bunch of Protestants that broke off from the Catholic Church. And when the Protestant Reformation was born, that's when the 14 books, which is the Apocryphal books, was taken from the Bible. Thus creating Protestant Bibles, because you had Protestants that revolted against the Catholic Church. So if you don't have an Apocryphal in your book, in your Bible is the Protestant Bible, man. Now some people say, well, what the hell, I don't care. I don't need these Apocryphal books. I don't need these books here. I'm cool with my 66 books. All I need is from Genesis to Revelation. 66 books. I'm cool with my 66 books. Some of you saying that. I don't need the Apocryphal books. Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you the damages if you don't get these books. I'm going to tell you the major damages historically you're going to catch if you don't get these books. If you don't get these books here, you are missing 300 to 400 years of missing history from your Bible. You don't want to get the Bibles with the Apocrypha inside of them? That's cool. You want to stick with your Protestant and your Anglican Bibles? That's cool. But notice here, if you don't have a Bible that includes the Apocryphal books, if you don't have a Bible that was printed before the 1800s, you missing 300 to 400 years of missing history. And you're going to have a big gap historically of what's going on. It's like you putting together a puzzle. It's like trying to put together missing pieces to the puzzle, and you wondering where all the other goddamn pieces at. Well, these are the pieces to complete your puzzle. These are the pieces to complete your Bible. The same books, the Catholic Church took out the Bible because they showed them up. It showed their wicked ass up. Catholic Church being the mother of harlots. The Catholic Church being one of the most wickedest churches on the earth. Thanks to your Catholic Church, you have Protestant Bibles all over America. Thanks to your Catholic Church, you got 66 books instead of 80 books. When did this Protestant Reformation kick off? Do your research. I believe around the 1500s going on now. And guess what? When the Protestants broke off from the Catholic Church, the Protestants created several denominations. The first denomination was Protestants. Now I can't even tell you how many denominations today, because out of the Protestant Reformation, all these denominations was born, which came from the Catholic Church. That's why you got Presbyterian. That's why you got Christianity. That's why you got Pentecostal. That's why you got Methodist. That's why you got Baptist. That's why you got Episcopal. That's why you got Anglican. That's why you got Church of Latter-day Saints, Mormonism. You understand? All these denominations came from the Protestant Reformation, going all the way back to that whore, the Catholic Church. Thanks to your Catholic Church, you don't have the Apocryphal books in your Bible. Don't tell me that you don't need these books, because you're going to miss out on 300, 400 years of missing information that you need to know that's very important for your knowledge, because without these books, you can forget about the New Testament. Don't even go to the New Testament. Trying to preach about a New Testament to me, but then don't even know the history that sums up the New Testament. Don't even know the history because it ain't in your Bible if you got a Protestant book. Get these books, man. And I challenge anyone that tell me that these books was never part of the Bible, because I'm going to show you that they was part of the Bible. What you looking at right here is the King James 1611 edition. This Bible was printed. I want you guys to see it. This Bible here was printed in the year 1611. And it wasn't printed in the United States of America. It was printed in Britain. And it's written in all Quaker English. And it was printed in the year of 1611. King James, however, newsflash, many people say they don't read the Bible because King James wrote the Bible. There go these stupid idiots again. There go these idiots again. King James didn't write the Bible. King James had the Bible authorized. He didn't write the Bible. But some stupid idiot gonna tell you, oh, that's his version. Oh, the Bible his version now because he got the credit for authorizing it? That's what it means. See, they want you to believe that. The only thing King James did was got the credit for authorizing the Bible. That's why it says King James Version. He got the credit for authorizing the Bible. However, he didn't write the Bible. Come on, man. Wake up. That's why they got King James on it, because King James wrote the Bible. You dummy. He didn't write the Bible. He authorized the Bible. Don't talk that bullshit to me, because I'm telling you, I'm not for it, man. I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you nothing but the truth, man. I don't fuck with lies, man. Now let me show you guys that's tuned in. If you thinking that King James wrote the Bible, I'm going to show you he didn't write the Bible. However, he did authorize the Bible. So he got the credit for authorizing the Bible. That's why they put King James Version. Listen to what I'm saying. What you have here is a Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. What you have here is called a Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. We about to go into King James to see if he wrote the Bible or not. So let's get it. Come on, man. When you niggas gonna wake up, man? Come on now. See, enough of this church shit, enough of this playing church and jumping around and shit. It's time to learn, man. Watch this. Watch this. Now, in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, I'm going to Apocryphal. That's what I'm going to. And that should explain it. Matter of fact, we'll go to Apocryphal first. Alright, wait a minute, guys. Don't know if you see it, but it says Apocryphal. See that? Those are the books that was taken out the Bible by the Catholic Church, the Protestants anyway. The non-Catholic Protestant left them in the Bible. Thus you have the Catholic Bible. See that? So I'm going to show you Apocryphal, and I'm going to give you the history on King James. Watch this. Apocryphal. Apocryphal means hidden or spurious, right? Books and chapters interspersed among the canonical books of the Old Testament and the Vulgate, but not found in the Hebrew Old Testament. The Roman Catholic Church received as canonical. The Roman, wait a minute, guys. We got some weather conditions going on out here. Y'all handle that, man. Y'all handle that for me. I got my guys out here handling this. We got weather. This is bad out here, man. The weather's blowing the posters all over the place. We got books and all kind of stuff flying, man. So y'all just bear along with me. All right, y'all just help me out. So that's dealing with the Apocryphal. Just to make a long story short, you can see right here that the Apocryphals, they include 1st and 2nd Ezra's, Tobit, Judith, additions to the book of Esther, the Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus, the book of Baruch, the Epistle of Jeremiah, the Prayer of Azariah, and the song of the three young men. also Susanna, Bel and the Dragon, and the Prayer of Manasseh, including 1st and 2nd Maccabees. You see that? These what the Apocryphal. These are the books of the Apocryphal. Now let me give you that history on King James. So right here, I hope you guys can see it. In the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it speaks of King James. King James didn't write the Bible. How do we know that? I'm about to show you this. Right here, it says King James Version. When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James. When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James first, who had been king of Scotland for 37 years. And as James the sixth, several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible, which was the Geneva's Bible. Now watch this. 47 of the best Hebrew Greek scholars, see that? I'm showing you. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of that day were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocryphal. Again, 47 of the best Hebrew Greek scholars of that day were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocryphal. 2 other groups met at Oxford, 2 at Cambridge, and 2 at Westminster. Now, watch this. Skip down here, make a long story short. And I hope you guys can see it. In 1611, the new version was published. That's what I just showed you, that Bible. Right here, the King James 1611 edition. That's what I just showed you, right? So in 1611, a new version was published. It did not win immediate universal acceptance, taking almost 50 years to displace the Geneva Bible in popular favor. Now, so we can see right there, King James didn't write the Bible. What did King James do? Again, King James summoned 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of that day and divided them into 6 groups to do what? To translate the Bible. See that? And these was the most intelligent people on the earth. You understand? These was scholars, man. That when they was just children, they can speak more than 8 languages, man. You see what I'm saying? So once again, King James did not write the Bible. He had the Bible authorized. See that? Look down here. The opening verses of the book of Genesis from the first edition of the authorized. See, that's why I say authorized King James Version, 1611. It says authorized because King James didn't write it. He had it authorized. See that? So King James didn't write the Bible. He had the Bible authorized. And what did he do? He went out and summoned 47 of the best scholars to do what? To translate the Bible from what? To Hebrew, to Greek, and so forth. To the old Quaker English. So it can be able for you to understand it. Because if you couldn't understand the Bible if it wasn't put in your language. Because the Bible was written in Hebrew and Greek. The Bible was written in Hebrew and Greek. If you don't read Hebrew and Greek, you will catch hell trying to read the Bible because that's the language it was written in. The Old Testament was written in Hebrew. The New Testament was written in Greek. And then they went from Greek to speaking Latin when the Romans ruled. Can you speak Hebrew, Greek, and Latin? Last but not least, what come out of the Latin language? Spanish. Can you speak Spanish? Then later on down to English. So the Bible had to be translated so you can read it. But if you want to know what the Bible was written in, it was written in Hebrew and Greek. That's why they call the 39 books, which is called the Tanakh, from Genesis to Malachi, they call them the Hebrew scriptures. What do they call the Greek scriptures? The New Testament, from Matthew to Revelation, they call it the Greek scriptures. Can you read Hebrew and Greek? So the Bible was what? Translated. But King James didn't write it. He had it authorized, man. Damn. I get tired of people saying that. He didn't write the Bible. He had it authorized. And when he had the Bible authorized, he got the credit for authorizing the Bible. That's why they put King James Version. It ain't his version because you think he wrote it. It's his version because he got the credit for authorizing the book. Come on, man. But see, many of us get caught up in that foolishness. Talking about, oh, I don't read the Bible because King James wrote it. So if I went and had something authorized and I got the credit for authorizing something and they gave me the credit, I got the credit for authorizing something, and then I say, and on the book it says Brandon's version or Shabar version, you're not going to read it? Just because I got the credit for authorizing it, you're not going to read it? Come on, man, I'm giving you some history that the church will never give you, man. You never going to get this in your church, man, or anywhere in America. You're never going to get this. See? King James 1611 Bible has all the 80 books in it. But then 20 years later, you know, they came out with more Bibles besides this one. And now the Bibles of today don't have the Apocryphal books inside of them. But just so you know, I'm gonna show you the evidence that the Apocryphal books was always part of the Bible. Look at here. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, so I'm giving you a rundown. This is the King James 1611 Bible, just to show you that the Apocryphal books was part of this Bible before the Catholic Church removed them. You see at the top, it says, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. First 5 books of Moses, which is the Torah. And then you got right here, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. You got Ezra, you got Nehemiah, you got Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs. Over here you have Ecclesiastics, the Songs of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micaiah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, right? So after Malachi, what comes after that last Old Testament book? It says the books of the Apocryphal, right there. The books of the Apocryphal. It don't jump from Malachi to the Gospels. No, you got to go into the Apocryphal books. But guess what? These 14 books right here, section in the middle, the Catholic Church took out the Bible. That's what left you with 66 books instead of 80 books, because the Catholic Church took them out. And here go the books, as I mentioned earlier. Right there, 1st and 2nd Ezra, Tobit, Judith, the rest of Esther. Why I say the rest of Esther? Because this sums it up in here. Then it says also Baruch, the Song of the Three Holy Children, the story of Susanna, the idol Bel and the dragon, the prayer of Manasseh, 1st and 2nd Maccabees. Then you get to the New Testament, which is from Matthew to Revelation. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So the Catholic Church removed 14 books from the Bible and left you with a Protestant one. But guess what? A stupid Christian wouldn't know that information if they fail to take heed and listen and to listen, just to listen. They'll say, hey man, I don't get in that book right there. I don't read that book right there, brother. Because that book right there got some strange books in it I ain't familiar with. Just because you're not familiar with it, they not strange because you're not familiar with it. The reason why you're not familiar with it Give me again. I'm going to tell you the reason. Because when y'all start talking about these apocryphal books, oh man, I don't read them right there because I don't know if they part of the Bible. I just showed you they was part of the Bible up until the 1800s. Up until the 1800s, they was part of every Bible. All the Bibles had the Apocryphal in it up until the 18th century because that's when the Catholic Church protested to have the books removed. So what are you talking about? But the reason why you say that, and the reason why you Christians don't want to read the Apocryphal books, is this right here. Hosea 4 and 6. Read. Read Hosea 4 and 6. And after Hosea 4 and 6, I want you to go to Rome. I want you to bring out that Roshman. Give me Romans. Hosea 4 and 6. Read that.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Read.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
What the most I say?
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
That's why you're not familiar with the Apocryphal books. The lack of your knowledge. You lacking knowledge. And your pastor sure as hell ain't giving it to you. Because he too busy taking your damn money. He's selling you hope. He ain't telling you the truth. He ain't edifying you as an Israelite. He ain't telling you your nationality. He ain't telling you about your heritage. He ain't telling you about your God. He preaching that old gibberish. You understand? Keeping you, he gonna make you stay a wacky-tacky Christian. You understand? So when you come across these books, you treat these books as though they devilish. You treat these books as though they demonic. You treat these books as they ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. When I don't show you they part of the Bible. They were just taken from the Bible in the 1800s. But you still want to continue to believe that these books ain't had nothing to do with the Bible? Hosea 4 and 6. You're going to perish for the lack of knowledge. See, because we always think about stuff after us. We don't never consider stuff before us. Give me that about the old pals, huh? But the old pals. Seek the old pals. Give me that. Where that's at? Give me Jeremiah 6. Jeremiah 6 and 16. These are the old pals. Not just the Old Testament, not just the Old Testament, not just the Tanakh, not just from Genesis to Malachi, but also the Apocryphal books. These are the old pals. A lot of y'all talking about we ain't in the Old Testament no more. I don't hear about y'all saying we ain't in the Apocryphal books no more. How many Christians talk about the Apocryphal books? You don't know any damn thing because you perish for the lack of knowledge. Give me that. Read what you got.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16.
Read.
Thus said the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old path.
Ask for the what?
Ask for the old path.
Ask for the what? Ask for the old path. Ask for the what? Ask for the old path. Ask for the what? Ask for the old path. What is the old paths? What is the old paths? What is the old paths? From Genesis to Malachi, which is the Old Testament, what we call it Tanakh. And from what? From 1st and 2nd Ezra's, the 1st and 2nd Maccabees, which is the 14 books of the Apocryphal. That's the old paths. The Catholic Church don't made you wacky-tacking Christians believe that the Apocryphal books ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. And that's why you missing out on 300 to 400 years of history. Because you failed to accept these books. Talking about you can do just fine without them. That's why you don't know what's going on in the New Testament. Because these history, the piece the puzzles, the piece the pictures together to show you what's going on in the New Testament, man. For instance, watch this. Watch this. Give me Acts chapter 6, start with verse 1. Acts chapter 6, start with verse 1.
Acts chapter 6 and verse 1.
Acts chapter 6 in the New Testament, start with verse 1. Read.
In those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians.
There arose a murmuring of what?
Of the Grecians.
Of the Grecians, go ahead.
Against the Hebrews.
So in Acts 6 and 1, who was the Grecians that was going against the Hebrews? Who was the Grecians that was going against the Hebrews in Acts 6 and 1? If you don't need the Apocryphal books. You see what I'm saying? If you don't need the Apocryphal books, who was the Grecians that was going against the Hebrews in the book of Acts chapter 6 verse 1? Who was the Grecians? You wouldn't know it. You would think them white people. You would think they was talking about white people. They not talking about white people. They talking about the Israelites that had converted to Grecian customs. They talking about the Israelites that had converted themselves to Greek customs and traditions. But whenever the Bible talked about Israelites converting themselves to Greek customs and traditions, when did the Bible ever talk about that? See, you wouldn't know that if you ain't got these books. Because it ain't in your Protestant Bible. It ain't in the Bible with the 66 books. You ain't got no idea what happened to the Jews before Jesus came. You ain't got no idea how the Greeks heavily oppressed the Jews before Jesus was even born. You ain't got no idea because you failed to accept these books. So now you in the New Testament trying to break down to me what is a Greek. You in the New Testament, you ain't never been familiar with these books, but you in the damn New Testament trying to break down to me who the Gentiles are. Save it. You're not going to know who the Gentiles are that Peter and Paul were sent to in the New Testament if you ain't familiar with these. These tell you this. They give you the history, how the Israelites became Gentiles. Watch this. It's going down today, man. It's going down today, man. Oh yeah, it's going down today. Cold cuts. We out here edifying. It's going down today. Watch this. I'm going to tell you something what Christ said. Let me show you what he said. The Messiah, Yahweh Shai, who they call Jesus. It's going down today. Y'all give me just a second. Let me grab this verse. Watch this. Hey, where that verse where Yahweh said, man shall not live by bread alone? Where's that verse, man? I need some help out here, man. He was saying, man shall not live by bread alone. I need some help out here, man. I can't call that verse right now. We gonna get it. Don't be playing with me. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Because flipping the Bible ain't gonna prove nothing. If you don't know it, you don't know it. He said, man, so I gotta get my concordance out. Wait a minute. Please help out here, man. Y'all better along with me. Whole lot of verses to try to remember in this book. I'm about to get it though. I got the concordance out. All right. Let's see. You just doing a bunch of flipping over there, man. You ain't proving nothing. But I'm about to get it, y'all. I'm going directly to it. I ain't tap them. I ain't gonna tap dance with you. Let me get it. Where he said, man should not live by bread alone. I believe this is in y'all get the focus, man. It don't take two people to run out the poster, man. But while you running after that one, another one could be blowing that way. It don't take two people I got a whole lot going on out here, y'all. Y'all forgive me. It don't take two people to run out the post. Because whatever flying that way, another one gonna be blowing that way. I gotta get this verse when he says man should not live by bread alone.
I got it.
Go ahead, bring it out, man. Get in the book, chapter, and verse.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4.
Come on.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone.
Man should not live by bread alone, because you need to be spiritually fed too. You see what I'm saying? Because when you eat physically, that nourish the physical. You know what I'm saying? Like the body. That's eating physically. But you also need to eat spiritually, which is getting in this scripture, getting in his word. So he said that man should not live by bread alone. Meaning that you shouldn't eat all the time. You shouldn't just eat all the time and be concerned on your physical appearance. Be concerned on your physical appearance. You shouldn't be concerned on that all the time. You should also be aware of your spiritual appearance. Your spiritual man, you should be working on your spiritual man. You see what I'm saying? So that's why he said, man should not live by bread alone, because it just ain't meant for you to feed yourself physically. It's meant for you to also feed yourself spiritually. Read on up.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone.
Go ahead.
But by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God.
But some of the words that proceeded out of the mouth of God.
But every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God.
But some of the words that proceeded out of the mouth of God.
But by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God.
See that? So you got to live by every word, not some of the words. So I don't want to hear y'all talking about that, oh, we don't need the Apocryphal books. Because if you say that, you're not willing to live by every word. See that? So you need these books. That's why I told you in Acts chapter 6 verse 1, you wouldn't know who the Grecians are that was disputing against the Hebrews. Because I'm going to show you something in the Apocryphal books. Give me 2 Maccabees chapter 6 in the Apocryphal books. Now these are in the Apocryphal books, man. 2 Maccabees chapter 6. It got to be 2 Maccabees chapter 6. Is that it? Or it might be 1 Maccabees. If it ain't 2 Maccabees, it's 1 Maccabees. Let's see. 2 Maccabees chapter 6. Yeah. 2 Maccabees chapter 6. Bring that out. And start with 2 Maccabees chapter 6. And start with verse 1. So this is the Apocryphal, right? And I'm going to show you why it's important to have these books. Because, like I told you, when you get to Acts in the Bible, the book of Acts, chapter 6, verse 1, it said that there was a dispute with the Grecians against the Hebrews. We're going to show you who these Grecians were, because a lot of the pastors in the Christian church, they believe that these Grecians were white people. But they were not. Watch this. So, start with 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 1.
Watch this.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
All right.
And to not live after the laws of God.
So there were many Jews that departed from the laws. Go ahead, watch this. Verse 2.
And verse 2. And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
And to call it the temple of Jupiter.
Jupiter was a pagan god. Go ahead. Olympius was a pagan god. Go ahead.
And that in Garzium of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place.
Go ahead. Watch this.
Verse 3. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles.
The Gentiles talking about the Greeks, the biological Greeks. Go ahead.
Who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places.
Go ahead.
and besides that brought in things that were not lawful.
Go ahead.
Verse 5, the altar also was filled with profane things,
Go ahead.
which the law forbidded.
Watch this. Wait a minute. Let me so they can tune in, cause they gotta see this. Now y'all take close look at this. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Read it out. Here we go.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
That's when the Greeks had forced the Jews to stop keeping their traditions and their customs and their laws. This is talking about the Grecian history when the Greeks oppressed the Israelites, when the Greeks oppressed the Jews. So read it again, 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Read it.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Now stop right there. 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Do you guys enter and understand what's going on in these apocryphal books? We talking about the Grecian Empire, how the Greeks had forced the Jews to keep their customs, and the Jews was afraid to keep their laws, statutes, and commandments. The Jews could no longer keep their laws. The Jews could no longer worship their God because these white Greeks, these Edomite white Greeks, forced the Jews to adapt to their customs, manners, and traditions. See that? And you had a Jew that couldn't even profess himself to be a Jew. So what they professed themselves to be? Grecians. That's the history when you get to Acts chapter 6, verse 1. And it says that there was a murmuring against the Grecians and the Hebrews. These Grecians were not white people. These Grecians was Jews. You see what I'm saying? Because we giving you the history, how the biological Greeks compelled them to follow their customs. Watch this. Now skip down to 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 9. Watch what it says. 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 9. Here it is. Watch this.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 9.
Watch this. Go ahead.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles.
That's talking about the Greeks. Whatever Israelite Jew that didn't conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles, which were the Greeks, the white people. Go ahead.
Should be put to death.
Should be put to death. Go ahead.
Then might a man have seen the present misery.
So guess what? If you was a Jew, if you was an Israelite, and you didn't follow the white man customs, which were the Greeks, they put your ass to death. So what you think a lot of the Greeks was doing to those Jews? They was enslaving them, ruling over them. And what you think the Jews were doing in that time to save their asses from being killed? They was converting to the Grecian customs. So you had Jews that eventually start calling themselves Jews and start going under the label Grecians. And that's how we know those Greeks in the New Testament were the Jews that was oppressed by the Grecians in the New Testament that Paul was teaching. They were the Jews that was oppressed by the Greeks, dealing with 1st and 2nd Maccabees, dealing with that history in the Apocryphal. But if they take that history out, you're not going to know who the Greeks are. That's who the Greeks are in the New Testament. You're going to think they white people. You feel me? This is what I'm telling you guys, man. Now, that just was a little cut right there. Now I'm finna go into something that they call the Inter-Testamental Period, right? So let me show you that. So here's another book, right? Cause we giving you the facts, man. We giving you the facts. Here's another book that's called Charting the Bible, and it's called the Chronological, the Visual Guide. See what I'm saying? Charting the Bible, and it's like a chronologically physical guide. See that right there? And it's by Ed Kinston and Thomas Ice. I want you guys to see that. Now we're going into this book for a specific reason, because now I'm going to explain about the Inter-Testamental Period. So let me explain to you about the Inter-Testamental Period. So let's get into that. All right. So here we are. I'm gonna let y'all see it. This is page 100. Don't know if you guys can see it. Wait a minute. Let me get the camera right. It's called the Inter-Testamental Period. Now, what the hell is the Inter-Testamental Period? What the hell is that? I'm about to explain. Because, see, when you don't know history, then you can't put together the present things. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't even no need for you to try to read the Bible if you don't study history. If you don't know history, it's over with. It's over with for you. You understand? You got to know historical events. In order to know the present, you got to know the former things. You understand? In order to know where you're going, you got to know where you come from. How the hell you going to know where you're going? You know where you come from. You see what I'm saying? So when somebody tell you it doesn't matter where I come from, then guess what? That's a person without roots. That's a tree without roots. You see what I'm saying? So when you say it doesn't matter where you come from, that's a tree without roots. Because every tree sprang from the roots. You feel what I'm saying? You don't know, how you gonna know where you're going when you don't know where you come from? Because if you sent me to Walmart right now, you sent me to Walmart, after I do my shopping and everything, I'm gonna need a place to rest. I'm gonna need a place to enjoy this food. I'm gonna need a place to wash these clothes that I got this washing powder and stuff from the store. I'm gonna need a place. I'm gonna need a stove to cook this meat on. So that's stupid as hell to say. It don't matter where I come from. All I need to do is just get to the stove. No. After you get your items, you take them back home where you come from. You take them back to the resting place. You Christians talking about it don't matter where we come from. It matter where we going. You ain't gonna go to the destination where you think you going until you find out where you come from. That's like a damn baby saying it didn't matter when I crawled on my knees. All what mattered now is I'm walking. That's just like a damn baby saying it didn't matter when I sucked from my mother's breast. All that don't matter when I sucked from my mother's breast. What matters now, I ain't sucking no more. I'm sipping wine now. How dumb is that? They're like somebody saying it don't matter about the sex we had to create children. Just know the children are here now. You see how dumb that is? You want to talk about it don't matter where I come from. It don't matter where we start. Everything has an origin. Everything has a beginning. And everything has an end. So let's deal with this intertestamental period. This is page 100. Again, from Charting of the Bible, chronologically. Alright? By Ed Anderson and Thomas Ice. I'm taking my time today, guys. Go down here. It says, the Old Testament closes with the Persians ruling. So that's talking about the book of Malachi. The Old Testament closes with the Persians ruling over Israel. So the last book of the Old Testament is Malachi. That's when Israel was under the Persian rule. It says they have allowed the Jews to return to the promised land and to build a second temple. Because that's what King Cyrus did. He allowed the Jews to return and build a temple again. But when the New Testament begins, watch this. But when the New Testament begins, the Romans are ruling. So the New Testament deals with the Romans are ruling. The book of Malachi, which is the last book of the Old Testament, deals with the Persians are ruling. Where's the information about the Greeks ruling? Where's the information about the Greeks ruling? You won't have the information if you don't have the Apocryphal books. Watch this. So when the New Testament begins, the Romans are ruling the world. In between the testaments is a period about 400 years, often referred to as the Inter-Testamental Period, which can be divided into 4 sections. So they telling you right here, in between what? In between the Old and New Testament is a period about 400 years. They're telling you in the book. In between the testaments. What testaments? The Old and the New. What happened between the Old and the New Testament? The Apocryphal. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The Apocryphal books happen between the Old and New Testament. And they telling you, in between the testaments is a period of how many years? In between the testament is a period about 400 years, often referred to as the Inter-Testamental Period, which can be divided in 4 sections. The late Persian period, the Greek period, the Greeks from 323 to 167 BC. Right there in your face, letting you know, right between the Old and New Testaments, that 400-year period, that's when the Greeks was ruling. They ain't gonna tell you that if you got a Protestant Bible. They ain't gonna tell you that if you got a Protestant Bible. They ain't gonna tell you that if your Bible got 66 books. Don't tell me that these apocryphal books is not essential. Don't tell me they're not important. Because dig in your ass missing out on 400 years of history because you failed to accept what was always in the Bible, which was the Apocryphal. The only reason why the Apocryphal ain't in the Bible, because it was taken out by the Catholic Church. They took out 400 years of your missing history. Give me Revelation 22, Op. Let's see what God say about that. About anybody who chooses to subtract from his word. The white man did that. The white people did that. These white Catholic Protestants. Westcott and Hart. They are the ones that extracted the Apocryphal book from the Bible. Because the Bible ain't the white man's book no way. That's why his ass did that. That's why he's subtracted from the book. Because the record ain't talking about him. What did it say in Revelation about taking away? Revelation 22 and start with Revelation 22 and 18. Read that out.
Revelation chapter 22 and verse 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him.
So you put the add to the Bible. Go ahead.
If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in his book.
See that? So you don't supposed to add to the Bible. Because God already has what's sufficient for you in the Bible. You as the Israelites, the Bible was written for the nation of Israel. All you other heathens can kick rocks. That's another reason why people thinking that Jesus died for everybody, because they lack knowledge of the Apocryphal books. That's another reason why people thinking that Jesus died for everybody, because you don't have this history here. If you had this history here, you'll know that the people that the New Testament, that because Peter was a minister to the uncircumcision, right? And Paul was a minister to the circumcision. Peter was a minister to the circumcision. Let me get it right. Peter was a minister to the circumcision, and Paul was a minister to the uncircumcision. So who was the uncircumcised Paul was teaching? You think they was biological Gentiles? These was Israelite foreigners that had adopted Grecian customs. You wouldn't know that if you ain't got the Apocryphal books. So the Catholic Church removed the Apocryphal books. They took the books out of the Bible to make you think that salvation's for everybody. They took the Apocryphal books out of the Bible to make you think that salvation is for everybody. You get hold of these books, you put them back in the Bible, you find out that those Grecians in the New Testaments and those Romans in the New Testaments that were scattered out also in Asia Minor, they was Israelite Gentiles, Israelite by nation, Israelite by birth, that had did what? That had went off and adopted the customs of the biological Greeks and the biological Romans. They adopted their customs. It ain't that they Gentiles by nation or they Gentiles by blood. They converted over to the Romans and the Grecian customs. Who made them convert to the Grecian customs? Who made them do that? King Antiochus. Dealing with the Grecian history. King Antiochus IV, Epiphanes, made the Jews convert to Grecian traditions and killed them off if they didn't do it. That's the history behind that. So by the time you get to the New Testament, we can see who are the Greeks and we can see who are the Romans and anybody else in the is. They took these books out to keep you from knowing that salvation is not for all nations, man. Huh? That's what they did. Where you was at? Finish that up. And God said, do not take from his word or add to his word. The white man did that. Because they know they ain't got a damn thing to do with this Bible. The Bible is the book of the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read it out.
Revelation chapter 22 and verse 19. And if any man shall take away from the words...
Like the white man did. Like the Catholic Church did in the 1800s. Like the Catholic Protestants did. Took the 14 books out of the Bible. If any man shall take away, what it said?
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life.
God shall take away his part. He ain't never had no damn part. The Edomites and the rest of these nations ain't never had no part. We the only one that had the promises, the covenants, and the blessings of this book. The Bible is the book of the Israelites. If you're not a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and if you're not a Negro and ending in descent, you can kick rocks. The Bible ain't your book. The white man knew that shit. That's why he went in there and took from the Bible. Because it don't benefit him, it don't suit him, it don't apply to him. Come on, man. I ain't no goddamn fool. You ain't talking to no goddamn fool. You talking to a scholar up here, man. And the pastors ain't making it no better for you because they continue to lie their ass off, man. Long as you go to church, you're going to continue to get your ass lied to. Get your ass out them churches and go to an elder and learn the truth. God told you not to add or take away from his word. Now, who did he actually tell that? He told the Israelites that. So we ain't the one that added and took away from his word. We not the one that did that. The heathen have done that to us. The heathen did that to our records. They the one that tainted our history. Watch this, man. Give me the book of Jeremiah, man. Where is that about the falling our bread, man? Is it Jeremiah 16? Give me, is it Jeremiah somewhere around 16? I'm just taking a wild stab. I'm trying to find it right now. Wait a minute. Jeremiah 16 and where it say our bread with the Father. Jeremiah 8, I believe, y'all. It's Jeremiah 8 and 18. I believe it's Jeremiah 8 and 18. Jeremiah 8 and 8. That's it. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8. Jeremiah 8, verse 8. Read that out.
Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 8.
Let Rosman read it. Read where the people can see you, man. Read out loud. Jeremiah 8 and 8. Come on.
Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 8.
Read that.
How do we say we are wise?
How do you say we are wise? Read on.
And the Lord is with us.
And the Lord is with us. Go ahead.
Though subtly and vain may he it.
Let Jay read it. You know, that's my youngest son. He's still in the midst of trying to read, you know what I'm saying? He's getting better with his words and whatnot. But we got to read the word fluently and we got to read it correctly, you know what I'm saying? So the people can be edified so they can catch on to what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? So he out here, y'all give him an end clap for at least trying. He out here trying to read these scriptures, man, you know what I'm saying? Because we supposed to bring our kids up in this truth and teach them righteousness, you know what I'm saying? So, but for right now, we're going to put him on hold because he kind of staggering with his words. And we're going to let Jeremiah read it. Jeremiah 8 and 8, read that.
Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
How do ye say we are wise? And the law of the Lord is with us.
Go ahead.
Lo, certainly in vain made he it.
The
pen of the scribes is in vain.
The pen of the what?
The pen of the scribes is in vain.
The pen of the what is in vain?
The pen of the scribes is in vain.
These wicked ass white scribes that went into our records and revised our records. That want to play tap dance with the scriptures. That's what he's saying. You understand? The pen of the scribes is in vain. Because even though you tried to revise our historical accounts, guess what? The Lord gonna put the Spirit on us regardless to reveal this, man. Because you have tried your best, the white man, the Edomites that the Bible speaks of. Wicked ass white man, the Edomites. All you do is revise and corrupt history. That's all you did. You went in our history, you went in our records, and you white scholars and scribes, you went on our records and you tried to revise it and change it to our disadvantage. That's what you tried to do. But guess what? Everything that you tried, every trap, every snare, you understand, every decoy, every pit that you have did for us to fall in is in vain, man. That's what the Bible says. All your little hard work, trying to finesse, trying to flip, trying to detour the people, trying to mislead blacks and Hispanics, so we won't come back into the power of the truth, sweating bullets, trying to turn us around. Everything that you have attempted to do is in vain, man. You wasted your damn time. Because the Most High going to reveal to his servants and his prophets the secrets, man. So you're wasting your damn time, man. Ezekiel 4:13, give me that. You so-called white people out there did an awful job in trying to teach us the word. And your intention wasn't to edify us truly anyway. Your intention was to miseducate us and mislead us so we wouldn't tap back into the power of the truth. Trying to finesse the Bible because it's not your history book. So what you want to do, misguide the slaves now. You want to miseducate the slaves now because it don't benefit you and your people. That's you so-called white people, you Edomites, and the Bible speaks of, man. That's why you did that, dealing with Westcott and Hart. That's why these fucking Catholic Protestants, man, that's why you took it out the Bible. That's why you took the Apocryphal out the Bible. Because if it ain't for me and my ancestors, I say fuck the Bible too. The Bible is for the nation of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Bible is for the nation of Israel, man. You talking to a lion, man. You talking to a lion. This Christianity bullshit got niggas in their feelings. This Christian shit got niggas in their feelings. You dealing with some lions out here, man. You come out here, you gonna get your ass chewed, man. For real. Enough of this tap dancing. Enough of these snares. Enough of these traps. Enough of these lies. Enough of this deceit, man. How long black people have been lied to? How long Hispanic people have been lied to? And Native Americans have been lied to? You white people didn't tell us nothing concerning the benefit, our salvation, our righteousness. Come on, man. Read what you got, Op. Come on, man. You Edomite, you the Edomites that the Bible speaks of. The children of Esau. Oh, that's hate. Oh, he's speaking hate. Oh, he's speaking hate. Well, let's see if it's hate when they lynching your ass and shooting your ass in cold blood in the streets. We got enemies out here, man. We the chosen people, so you know we got enemies. If you a special people to God, you gonna have haters. You got enemies. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These heathen nations ain't never cared for you. This is what they did right here. Ezekiel 4:13, read.
Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 13.
Read.
And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
The children of Israel shall eat they what?
Defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans shall eat they what?
Defiled bread among the Gentiles.
It ain't talking about no literal bread, like no light bread or no croissant. It ain't talking about that. Eating defiled bread is a corrupt Bible. It's a revised Bible. The Bible is known as the bread of life. That's why we tell you when we pray, we say, give us this day our daily bread. What is the daily bread? The daily bread is the Bible. This is your daily bread because this is going to feed you spiritually. See that old biscuit that you eat, that's the physical bread that feeds you physically. But the daily bread feeds you spiritually. What did Ezekiel say happened to our bread? Huh? Read it again. Ezekiel 4:13, man. Read it again.
It says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Now we got to sit up here and eat defiled bread. If you know what I'm talking about. We got to sit up here and try to decode a revised Bible in the midst of you Gentiles that have misconstrued the scriptures. We got to eat our bread defiled now. It ain't given to us straight and upright like it was. They went and revised the scriptures. They changed a lot of stuff in the book. Took out certain terms and terminologies and switched them around to their advantage. To confuse us as the people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Didn't put the true name of the Lord in the Bible. They didn't put Christ's real name in the Bible. They didn't tell you, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were the Israelites in the Bible. Took the Bible and finessed the Bible and twisted it all up. Now we as the Israelites got to eat our damn bread defiled. In other words, what Ezekiel 4:13 saying that we got to study a fucked up Bible now, because that's the bread that's been defiled. We can't even take everything at face value no more. Come on, man. The Bible was simple and plain. Can't nobody tell me that. The Bible was simple and plain, man. But after the heathen got a hold to our records, after these other nations, after our enemies got a hold of our records, man, what they did, man, they defiled our bread, Op. I'm going to show you they defiled our bread, man. Give me the Apocryphal, man. Let's go back into the Apocryphal. Because there's another reason why they took it out. Let's see what they did, man. Let's see what they did. Let's go back in Maccabees. Let's see what they did, man. We're going to show you all kind of stuff they did. They found out, they knew it wasn't for them, man. The white man and the rest of these nations know the Bible ain't for them, man. Watch this. Let me give you watch this. Wait a minute. All right, give me watch this. Wait a minute, let me find it. All right, check this out. Give me First Maccabees. This is First Maccabees in the Apocryphal. Watch this. The white man, which is the Edomites, and the rest of you nations, you never cared for us, or you never cared for our history, because this is what you did. Remember we were telling you how our bread been defiled, right, in Ezekiel. Watch this. Let's see what the Greeks did. First Maccabees, chapter 56. Read it. First Maccabees, verse 56. First Maccabees, verse 56 in the Apocryphal. Read it.
First Maccabees, chapter 56. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law.
What did they do to our records?
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law.
What did the Greeks do to our records?
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law.
They rent in pieces the books of the law. This is First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 56. It said that they tore in pieces the books of the law. Now, if the Bible benefited the Greeks, would they do that? They get in right there to find our bread. I told you, man. If the Bible benefited all nations, why is the Greeks tearing up the Jews' records? Ooh. If the Bible benefited all the nation, why is the Greeks destroying the records of the Jews? Can please somebody answer that? What it say in First Maccabees chapter 156? Read that again up.
First Maccabees Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 56.
Come on.
And when they had rent in pieces the book of the law.
The Greeks rent in pieces our ancestors' history. Go ahead.
Which they found, they burnt them with fire.
What they do out?
They burnt them with fire.
What the Greeks do to our history?
They burnt them with fire.
What did the Greeks do to the Israelites' history?
They burnt them with fire.
What did the Greeks do to our ancestors' history?
They burnt them with fire.
What did the Greeks do to the ancient scrolls?
They burnt them with fire.
They burnt them with fire, man. Now does that sound like the Greeks give a damn about the Bible being their book? The white man, the so-called white man, the Edomites that the Bible speaks of, destroyed our ancestors' history, destroyed all the artifacts, and gave us his story. Does that, put that together, man. Can't you see? If all of us was God's children, why would the Greeks be doing that? If all of us were God's children, why would the white Catholics remove the Apocryphal books from the original script? Because they've been doing everything they can to keep you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in a deep sleep. They've been doing everything they can, man, to keep you in a deep sleep. First Maccabees 1 and 56. And when they had torn in pieces the books of the law, they found they burnt them with fire, man. See that? Guess what that's called today, what we would say? Reading the scriptures, getting rid of the evidence, getting rid of things that don't suit them, like the Bible. They don't give a damn about this Bible. That's why you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you got to care for your heritage, and you got to care for your book. Because these other nations, man, they don't care about this Bible. That's why they continue to print these moderate versions. They're going to give you these watered-down versions because every time they give you a moderate version, they revise the terminology and water down the words again. Hell, these people talk about, man. They don't condition your mind. They don't done enough damage to us as the nation of Israel, man. You understand? Now give me 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 10. Read that.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 10.
All you heathen nations don't defile our bread, man. All you heathen nations don't defile our word, man. What it say?
And there came out of them a wicked root.
1 Maccabees chapter 2. 1 Maccabees chapter 2 verse 10. Read it.
1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10.
Watch this. Go ahead.
What nation had not a part in her kingdom?
See that? What nation has not had a part in her kingdom? Go ahead. Read on.
And gotten of her spoils.
See that, man? All these nations have had their way with us, man. The Egyptians, the Assyrians, you understand? The Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans. All these nations have had it's like they treated it's like the nation of Israel like a whole. Like they just treated us like a whole. You understand? Like they just had their way with us, just plundered with us, just treated us like a bitch. You understand? All the other nations, man, just turned us over and had their way with us. Read it again, Op. 1 Maccabees chapter 2 verse 10. Read it.
1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10.
Go ahead, read.
What nation had not had a part in her spoils?
What? It's talking about the heathen nations, man. Which of you heathen nations? Hey, give me that them nations that conquer Israel. Where that sign is? Yeah, hold that up right here. Where is it? Hold on. I thought I had it out. It's talking about the nations that conquer Israel. Wait a minute. Look at all these nations that had their way with us, man. The Egyptians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, Africans, Arabs, to the white man, the Edomites. Read that again, Op. 1 Maccabees chapter 2 what? Verse what?
1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10.
What it say?
What nation had not had a part in her kingdom?
What does that mean? They treated us like a whole. Every nation don't have they dealing with us, man. You understand? And they fired our records. Tore our records up and burnt our records. And still doing it to this day. See that? Now watch this. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 11. Wait a minute.
All-American country.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 11. Here it is. Watch this. Read it out.
First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
And all her ornaments are taken away.
All her what?
Ornaments are taken away.
Why I say her? Because it's a personification. It's referring to her, to Israel, man. Just like when you read Revelation, the 12th chapter. It refers that woman to Israel, man. So when it says her, that's a personification. It's referring to her, to the Israelite nation. That's why I said all her ornaments are taken away. I told you they've been doing this, man. What it means all her ornaments are taken away? The royal information that you need for your salvation. But see, they took it away because they thought they was doing something. They thought they was exceptional in that. That's why I told you about where we're talking about the pen in Ezekiel. Ezekiel the 4th chapter, when it was saying the pen of the scribes is in vain, because even though they did that, they thought they could do that to our disadvantage. They thought they was doing something when they was going in there, burning our records, rewriting our history and shit. They thought they was getting the best. But little do they know, the Most High was going to put his spirit back on us regardless. Because that's why it's very important. See, let me tell you something. That's why it's very important to get this word in your heart. Because even if you did decide to burn a scroll, you can't take away what's in my heart. If you kill me, I'm coming back. That's why you got to get this word in your heart, man. Because see, these books and this literature and stuff not going to last forever. You got to get the word sown in your heart. So when these Edomites, these heathen nations come along to destroy your records and your artifacts, you'll have it in your heart. You understand? That's why the Most High say he's going to do this right here. Give me Hebrews. The book of Hebrews. Let's go to it. This is what the Most High say he's going to do right here. Is it Hebrews the 11th chapter? Is it Hebrews the 11th chapter? No, it ain't the Hebrews the 11th chapter. Hebrews 8. Watch this. This is what the Most High going to do right here. Read Hebrews 8 and verse 10 in the New Testament.
Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 10.
Uh-huh.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
With the house of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Nobody else. Go ahead.
After those days, said the Lord,
Uh-huh.
I will put my laws into their mind.
He gonna do what?
I will put my laws into their mind.
He gonna do what?
I will put my laws into their mind.
I'm gonna put my laws into their mind. You know why you gotta do that? Because the heathen always tearing our stuff up. Every time they come across our records, they burning our records, they tearing our records up. Most I say, man, I'm about to put this in my children's heart. Because if you rely on artifacts and literature, it always getting torn to pieces. It always getting destroyed. That's why I was telling you that in First Maccabees, man, chapter 2, it said, what nation that ain't have a part of her spoils? We sick of you heathens doing this stuff, man. Every time they come across something very unique or something very prestige, what they do to it? They destroy it, get rid of it. When they find out especially it don't benefit them. Oh man, we find this ancient book, it ain't talking about us though. What we gonna do with it? set it on fire. Our royal information. It's the heathens that destroyed our information. The most I say now, he going to have to put it in our hearts. And that's also why a lot of the heathens killed a lot of Israelites, because they had the word sown in their hearts. So they felt like they take them off the planet, they don't have to deal with the truth. Because they burnt the records. They burned the records, right? And then everything in the records they had in their heart, in their mind. So they say, damn, we got to kill them. So they did that, not knowing that the truth returned right back on the earth. Read that out, Hebrews 8 and verse 10. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind.
And then he put our laws into our, you don't have to worry about a lot of revised copies. How many damn revised Bibles they don't came out with? See, when he put this word in your heart, the white man and the rest of these nations, they ain't going to be able to revise us like they revised the literature. Because we going to know that it's in our heart. So he said in Hebrews 8 and 10, that after those days, said the Lord, I will put my laws in their minds and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. You see that? Now watch this. Watch this. Wait a minute. All right, that's another book chapter verse. But anyway, we gonna move on. Who we got tuned in? We got Eon Jones, G.A. Gerald, Antoine Super Warren, G.A. Gerald, Sean Birch, Anthony Farr, Delance Johnson, Daniel June. All right, man, we appreciate y'all, man. We're going to continue on with a couple more verses, and I'm going to close it out. Now, y'all got anything y'all want to bring out? Y'all want to say? All right, so I kind of gave you a rundown. What I did, I gave you a rundown on basically all the books of the Bible. Gave you a rundown on the Old Testament, also known as the Tanakh, and what makes up those 39 books of the Old Testament, or what you call the Tanakh, is 3 subdivisions, which is the Torah, Genesis, Deuteronomy, Torah, and then you got the Nevi'im, which are the prophets, the major amount of prophets, and then you got the Ketuvim, which is the writings. Thus you got the Tanakh, which makes up the whole 39 books of the Old Testament. After the Old Testament, what you call the Old, some call it the Old Covenant. After the Old Covenant, or what you call the Old Testament or the Tanakh, you got the Apocryphal books, right? The Apocryphal books that deals with the Grecian history, how the Grecians oppressed Israel, and it's 14 books total. And then after the Apocryphal books, you have the 4 Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then going on out. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, then you got the book of Acts, and then you got Romans, and then you got 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, going on out to Revelation. You understand? But yeah, be sure to get these Apocryphal books, because if you don't have these Apocryphal books, man, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to understand what's going on in the New Testament, especially when it comes down to the Gentile. So I can truly say that the reason why you need these books the most, because it's going to edify you who are the Gentiles in the New Testament. That's why you need these books the most. It also tells you other things, you know, but most likely, I would recommend you to have these books the most, because it really tells you who are the Gentiles that Paul was sought to get. You know what I'm saying? Who he was reaching out to in the New Testament, and tell you the Gentiles in the New Testament who Paul was reaching out to is nothing but Israelite Jews. They were just called dispersed Jews. So that's why it's very important to get these books. All right? And so, yeah, man, we got to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? As the nation of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now, it's very hard for us to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, because we've been raised up in a wicked ass society. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been raised up in a wicked ass society. So We kind of was shaped in iniquity, man. What David say? Give me that, man. When David said he was shaped in iniquity. He said yeah, give me that. It's in Psalms. I know it's in Psalms. When he said he was shaped in iniquity. Where is that?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, go ahead, man.
Psalms chapter 51 and verse 5.
Read it.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity.
You see, like David said, King David said he was shapen in iniquity. Go ahead.
And in sin did my mother conceive me.
See, and in sin his mother conceived him, because when King David came in this world, man, this shit was fucked up already, you know what I'm saying? So when King David came in the world, like, you got to understand, nobody is born a sinner. But you are born in sin. You born in the midst of sin. You born in the midst of all this evil ass shit going on, man. Niggas killing niggas, people raping, robbing, murdering out here, getting licks. You got child pedophilia, child molestation. You got armed robbery. You got drug abuse. All kind of shit going on out here, man. It's a wicked ass world, man. And the white man is running it. The Edomites that the Bible speaks of. And guess what? You and your old lady decide to have a baby, you gonna bring your baby in sin. Read that again out.
Psalms chapter 51 and verse 5. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity.
David was shaping in iniquity. Go ahead. He was shaping it. It was the iniquity that shaped him. Like, this an evil ass world. Like, we don't intend to be like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, we long to be righteous. We long to be pure in heart. We long to be upright. We long to be virtuous man and virtuous woman. But this wicked ass society, man, everything that we turn and look about, everything around us seems like it's just the odds are stacked against us. So, you know what I'm saying, you end up being shaped in iniquity, you know what I'm saying? You end up being converted, man, as a sinner. So read from the top. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 51 and verse 5. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity. And in sin did my mother conceive me.
See, he said in sin his mother conceived him. So we all conceived in sin. We all come in sin, you know what I'm saying? What is sin? The transgression of the law. This place is evil as hell, man. America is evil, man. You ain't being told the truth here. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You have not been told to keep them. They tell you in God we trust, but it ain't the God of the Hebrews. That God is an acronym for gold, oil, and diamonds. That's where all the wars come from. You know, for the sake of greed. You know what I'm saying? Just like 9/11 happened. It was for the sake of the oil. That's why they bombed the Twin Towers. America bombed the Twin Towers. George Bush had the Twin Towers bombed. Then what he went over there? He went over there in Saudi Arabia and confiscated the oil. See what I'm saying? So when they say in God we trust, if they trusted in God of the Bible, then why don't keep the Sabbath day? If they trusted in the God of the Bible, God says don't eat pork. God says don't eat anything at all. McDonald's sell you a sausage and biscuit. God says to be holy. What to be holy mean? To be holy is to be separate as the nation of Israel. So if America really trusted in God, if they really trusted in the God of the Bible, they would be doing what God prescribed in the book. But they don't do that. They do everything against the Bible. See what I'm saying? So it's hard for us. It's hard for us, especially when you're born in a world of sin. You're trying to do the right thing, but everything around you is evil. They telling you to eat pork. They telling you to eat shrimp, crab, and lobsters. The seafood joint selling you seafood. When God told us not to eat crab and shrimp and lobster. God tells us not to eat anything in the waters that don't have fins and scales. But they sell you shrimp, crab, and all this other stuff. America was set up so you can fall and so you won't be right with God. All right.
I'm not here to cause control, man.
All right, okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on, man. Just a second. I'm live on Facebook, so. What we teaching is the truth on biblical issues. Okay, it's the Bible. The Bible is a good book to read. But the only thing, the bad are the physical descendants of the people of the Bible. The Europeans set it up to get us to believe that they are the actual physical descendants of the Bible. And what they did was the Catholic Church, what the Catholic Church did was, this Catholic Church gave us this information. Like they changed the appearance of Jesus. Like that's why we got those illustrations now. That's not Jesus Christ according to the Bible. Jesus Christ according to the Bible was a dark-skinned young man. But the Catholic Church in the year 1492, they revised the new Jesus. And then they gave it to black Hispanics in America. And they killed them off if they get converted to Christianity and Catholicism. You see what I'm saying? That's history. That's how 770. You know about the Lamentations? You know about the Deuteronomy? They coming over here raping wild and murdering Indians. That's what it was. It was behind converting them to captives. And whatever Native Americans did to convert to Catholicism, they killed off. They killed them off for not accepting Jesus. They killed the Negroes off for not accepting Jesus. Because the Bible speaks of Jesus that's not like it. The Bible speaks of Jesus from the tribe of Judah with woolly hair and brass skin. This was a black man. But they didn't give us the direction of the scripture. So what we do is we come out about, we try to undo the misinformation. We try to tell the accurate information. We try to get the true history on the Bible concerning how, the church, they say a preacher speaks of God's word. So we use a lot of illustrations to show you what European people, we can't make this up because European people have done this. So it's not about racism, it's not about hate, it's about truth. We tell people do not confuse truth. Do not confuse hate with truth because we don't hate anybody. This court is trying to unravel lies biblically that was told to us. They told us everybody in the Bible, like they set up Christianity on it. Christianity was given to the slaves. That's not who we was never Christians. You know what I'm saying? That's a valid term anyway. That didn't come until like 524 AD. So we didn't come to America as Christians. You see what I'm saying? We came to America as saints. We came to America as servants of God. But what the European settlers did, they enslaved black people. This is true. They enslaved black people and they put this religion on the call of Christianity. And if they didn't convert to white Jesus, they beat us and flogged us and they killed us. Like that's it. So a lot of people, a lot of blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans today, they are happy Christians. Because they don't know the misinformation. See, it's like all I was told is just be a Christian and pray to that image right there. Just be a Christian and believe in Jesus. But they didn't tell me to correct Jesus. They say just be a Christian and believe on him, believe in him and you should be saved. So I grew up my whole entire life thinking that Jesus was like that. But then when God opened my eyes up and revealed the truth to me, and I saw that it was a bunch of lies, I said, man, I gotta do something. I gotta help others. I gotta tell them about the misinformation. I gotta tell them about the truth. So when you see us out here, we're not trying to incite hate or rage or hate. What we're doing is just basically telling you, want to get back in go back in the away. We go back in the 1400s. We go all the way to the 1400s up to the present day in time to show you what has the misinformation that was done to black, Hispanic, and American people. As far as the Catholic Church and the European settlers putting religion on us. And they did this stuff to us. So we want to return to who we our true values, our ancestors. So when you break down the word history, you can pick it apart. It says history. Because that's not our story. The history that we learn about is history related to the Europeans. It's not the people of Africa and Indian descent. It's not our history. Christopher Columbus, the founding fathers, George Washington, all this stuff. That's why they're known as the founding fathers. They are known as the founding fathers, but they're not our founding fathers. Because our founding fathers was not George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or all. Our founding fathers was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob of the Bible. But they took the book and revised the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they got many versions. They got the King James, the rest of them. What they keep doing is they keep doing revised versions, and every version they revise, they water down the scripture, so they can use misinformation and then continuously mislead us. So what we are here for is to just unravel all the lies spiritually that was told. Now some people might come across this and they may get offended because you may tell them what y'all. They may ask us. They say, "What y'all teaching about?" We're teaching about how the Catholic Church misled a lot of people with this information. First and foremost, given the Pope, the sixth Pope of Rome gave us his second son. The sixth Pope of Rome in the year 1492, which was Rodrigo Ruggiero, gave us his second son as Jesus Christ, which was Cesare Borgia, which was played by Leonardo da Vinci. So Leonardo da Vinci knew that that was the Jesus Christ, but Leonardo da Vinci painted that image for the Pope and gave us that image anyway in the year 1492. So Christopher Columbus came over here in 1492 and killed a lot of Native American Indians because they wouldn't convert to Catholicism. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how religion was put on Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. And people say, well, it ain't true. But we don't force nobody to believe. We say, look, you can walk off. We not out here forcing anybody to believe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not like that. I'm not here calling it. Y'all got everybody got the right to preach the businesses trying to run y'all. Somebody called in about it, but nobody's trying to run you off. Those businesses are kind of as far as I'm concerned, y'all can stay here free play. Okay. You might as well get your name.
First thing is when I ain't got nothing to lie, man. I ain't doing no more, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people will might get offended, but we don't think they can, we tell them they can just keep walking.
Yeah, everybody's got the right to preach.
But yeah, man, this don't happen to us. This ain't the first time, though. This happened to us several times, you know what I'm saying? I understand people, they believe what they want to believe, and then when people come across this information, it may be some information they ain't never heard before, they might get kind of offended about it, and somebody might know about the police or something. But we ain't forcing nobody to stay out
Is there
here.
a reason why you do this now? Why you have to?
It's just documentation. I just document, what happened here today, and nothing was, nothing wrong with it. It's just saying this
So
is.
y'all don't like to say that around trying to.
No. It's just literally gonna say at the same time I make.
Even though he ain't got nothing on him, I'm just saying.
Yeah, matter of fact, I work for the city of Valdosta, man. I sell taxi drive, you know what I'm saying? So, man, like I said, man, like I said, man, we not out here putting indicating and pointing people out. No, we just say, look, whoever willing to, if you want to know the truth behind historical dealing with spirituality historically, if you want to know the truth, we telling. That's why we got all this literature and stuff out. Because we trying to tell them, like, see, I was born in the year 1985. That's when I was born. So it's a lot of history that happened before I was born that I wasn't taught about. But I was blessed to have some elders to come along and teach me some history that I didn't know about. Because they say, look, man, we're going to teach you history, but we're not going to teach you history. I say, what you mean you're going to teach me history, not history? See, to teach history is to teach the American way of history. But we're going back to your ancestors. And we're going back to the people of the West Indian Negroes, the Jamaicans. We're going back to the Haitians. We're going back to the Dominicans, the Native Americans, the Aztec Indians, the Maya Indians, the Inca Indians. We're going back to your bloodline to show you what happened spiritually, how you was misled to believe in the religion and denominations when your people wasn't religious in the first place. Your people was always spiritual, but they was never religious. So to be spiritual and to be religious is totally different things. So we trying to get our ancestors, we trying to tell our, a lot of our people don't heed to this, man. A lot of our people cuss us out. They say, oh, that's cool, and they walk off. But then a lot of people come up here and listen. We're not charging anybody, we're not selling anything. All we doing is giving out free information. And then, like I said, somebody probably heard something that got offended. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. All right. All right, Jay, where you was at? All right, read that again. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 51 and verse 5.
All right, man. All right, we back again, man. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 51 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity.
He say what?
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity.
David said he was shapen in iniquity. Now, what does that mean? Like I told you, it's self-explanatory. Each and every one of us is shapen in iniquity. You understand? Because it's an evil world. Go ahead.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. And in sin my mother conceived me, because we all come in sin. Because this is a sinful world. So what is sin? Give me 1 John 5 and 3. Give me that. We about to close out, y'all. Because I had got into this deal with the police, man, you understand?
We ain't closing out because he running us off, but we just been out here a long time, man. And I kind of got lost in time because I had to talk to this cop about some stuff, man. Because somebody called the police on us again. But anyway, give me 1 John 5 and 3.
1 John chapter 5 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
All right, this is the love of God that we do what?
Keep his commandments.
The love of God is that we keep his commandments. That's the love of God. What is saying? 1 John 3 and 4. So the love of God is that we keep his commandments. So you're going to prove that you love God by keeping his commandments. Not what is sin. 1 John 3 and 4. Because David said in sin his mother conceived him. 1 John 3 and 4. Give me that.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 4.
Yeah, 1 John 3 and 4. If y'all don't believe me, the damn the police out here, man, I'm going to show you right there. See what I'm saying? Call the police on us again, man. Because we out here exposing this truth, you know what I'm saying? Again. Can't tell y'all how many times this shit don't happen to me, man. 1 John what? Go ahead.
1 John 3 and verse 4.
Go ahead, read.
Whosoever committed sin, transgression also the law.
1 John 3 and 4 it says, whosoever commits sin, transgress the law. Go ahead.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So 1 John 3 and 4 tells you that sin is the transgression of the law. So when you commit sin, you break God's laws. Sin is the breaking of God's laws. Sin is the violation of God's laws. David said in sin, his mother, he was born in sin. You understand? So he was born in a generation of people that were breaking God's laws. Just like we born in a generation. We all come in a generation of people. We all come into a generation that's breaking God's laws. Man, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans has not been taught to keep the laws of God because they don't know they're the Israelites. Once you know you're an Israelite, you understand, hopefully you will return back to the laws of God. But if you constantly being told by the Christian church that you're a Gentile, you ain't studying the laws, man. You see what I'm saying? And that's facts, man. A lot of people, our people don't know who they are. You the Israelite the Bible speaks of, but you don't know who they are. You don't even know who you are. Because the heathen nations made sure that they deprive you from knowing who you are. So that's why when we go to church or whatnot, we always had the spirit, give me Romans. We always had that spirit and pleasing because we some spiritual people. You can look around and see that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American are spiritual people. We got the attitude, you know what I'm saying? We got the charisma and we got the stamina and we got the potential. But this is what we lack right here. Ain't it in Romans? Yeah. What does it say? I know it's in Romans. This is what we lack. Let me show you what we lack. And it's in Romans 10 and something. Romans 10 and 2. Watch this. So this us right here. Romans 10 and 2. Read that.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 2.
For
I bear them record that they have a zeal of God. But not according to knowledge.
See that? Because that's us when we go to church. You know what I'm saying? We jumping up and down the pews and shit. We running around, foaming out the mouth, shouting and doing all kind of crazy shit in the church. You understand? Because we always had that passion. We always had that ambition. We always had that drive to please God. You know what I'm saying? And that's that zeal, man. Romans 10 and 2 say, for I bear them record that they have the zeal of God, but not according to the knowledge. But then the pastor tell you don't need the knowledge. The church telling you don't need knowledge. You understand? But that's what the Bible said. The Bible said we need knowledge, man. What's going on, Al? What's going on, you all right? Yo, man, it don't stop. You see I'm always out here, man. I see that. So what it say? What it say? Read it again, Al.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
They have a zeal of God. That's when you be running around, clapping your hands and stuff. Read on.
But not according to knowledge.
Not according to the knowledge, because in the church they not teaching you. And you go to church, but they ain't putting you on game. They ain't telling you who you are. They ain't telling you your heritage. They ain't telling you that you the Israelite. They ain't telling you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you the descendants of Jacob. They ain't telling you that. You see what I'm saying? And so you always had the zeal, but you just lack the knowledge, man. Watch this. Give me Baruch 3 and 20 in the Apocryphal. See what I'm saying? So we go to church because We spiritual people, you know what I'm saying? You can't stop blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from going to church because we spiritual people. You understand? We like church because we spiritual people. But it's just we lack the knowledge, man. The word church comes from the Greek word ecclesiastic, I believe. The word church comes from the Greek word ecclesiastica, I believe, or something like that, and it means a assembly of people or a congregation of people. So the church ain't the building. What make the church is the congregation, the assembly. That's where the word church comes from in the Greek. It comes from ecclesiastic, which means the assembly of the people. So a goddamn building ain't no church, man. What make the church is the congregation, the assembly of the people. Read what you got right there, Al. Hey, take care of that for me. We live, y'all. We got weather conditions out here. The wind blowing pretty strong. Y'all just stay tuned. Facebook Live. We see y'all. You understand? We out here, man. Y'all stay tuned. We got weather conditions. We got strong winds blowing the posters all over the place. We gonna get right back to y'all in a few minutes. Y'all stay locked. We gonna get back to y'all. We getting situated right now. Just lay them down. I'll just lay them down. Don't worry about it. We about to get up out of here anyway. Let's bring this out to him. Hey, so give me what you got in Baruch 3 and 20.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 20.
All right, go ahead. Give me what you got.
Young man has seen light and dwelt upon the earth.
It say what?
Young man has seen light and dwelt upon the earth.
Go ahead.
But the way of knowledge have they not known.
But the way of knowledge have they not known. Because you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, America ain't gonna teach you the knowledge. If the white man run America, if the white man run this world, you think the world you live in is the white man's world. You think the white man gonna give you your information? You think the white man gonna give you the real information? If the white man ruling the world, you think he gonna give you the legitimate information that you need to progress? He gonna keep your ass a slave. That's what he gonna do. He ain't gonna give you the legit information that you need to triumph over his jurisdiction. He gonna keep you a slave, man. And how he keep you a slave? He gave you religion. He gave you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He gave you religion, man. Read it again,
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 20.
Young
man have seen light and dwelt upon the earth.
Young man have seen what?
Light and dwelt upon the earth.
Go ahead.
But the way of knowledge have they not known.
The way of knowledge, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you have not known. Read.
Verse 21. Nor understood the paths thereof.
Nor understood the path thereof. The path thereof is the commandments. You ain't understood the commandments because the Christian church telling you that the law is done away with. The Christian church telling you that you ain't got to keep the laws of God. But your pastor study rebuking sin. Your pastor study rebuking sin. You shouldn't be rebuking those sins if the law is done away with. Christian church tell you that we ain't under God's laws, but yet instead you rebuke sin. What is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. You can't even preach about sin if the law is done away with. If the law is done away with, I don't want to see you rebuking no homosexual. I don't want to see you rebuking no thug. I don't want to see you laying your goddamn hands on nobody if the law is done away with. These niggas are simple as hell, man. That's why I had to get out that goddamn Christian church. And I ain't going back to it. Because you've been in that shit for 15, 20 years and still at a standstill. You ain't learning nothing. You ain't learning nothing in there. And that's the plan, to keep you religious. So you won't never break the chains of religion to find out your true identity and your nationality as an Israelite. That's what it is. Religion was put on you as a spiritual chain. As long as you stay religious, long as you stay bound. Long as you stay religious, as long as you will stay a slave in your mental. So that's all I got to say, guys, for today. We appreciate you, Sean Birch. We appreciate you, my brother Daniel June. We appreciate you, Anthony Forrest. We appreciate you, Sean Birch, G.A. Preston, Antoine Super Warren. You understand? We appreciate you guys. Peace and much love. Peace and black power, Israelite power, man. You know what I'm saying? You are the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are the Israelites. You're not a nigger. You're not a black person. You're not an African American. You're not an Afro-American. You are Israelite from the tribe of Judah, man. I want all y'all to hear this under the sound of my voice. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true chosen people of God, man. The white man ain't God's child. Even though God created all the nations, don't get me wrong. God created all the nations in the earth, but he chose one Pacific nation to be his chosen, to be his children, man. And that's the children of Israel. The white man ain't God's children, which are the Edomites. The Chinese ain't God's children, which are the Moabites. The Japanese ain't God's children, which are the Ammonites. The Africans ain't God's children, which are the Hamites. The Egyptians ain't God's children, which are the Mizraimites. You know what I'm saying? The North Africans ain't God's children, which are the Somalians. The South Africans ain't God's children, which are the Canaanites. You know what I'm saying? The Greeks ain't God's children, which are the Javanites. The Kittamites, which is the Italians, they not God's children. The Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs, they not God's children. The Asherites, which are the Syrians, they not God's children. The Aramites, which are the Syrians, they not God's children. No one is God's children but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what makes us so special, because we are the chosen people of the Most High God, the Israelites. And that's why I'm out here. I'm out here for y'all. I'm out here for my people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't give a damn about these heathens and these Gentiles, man. You understand? It's time to get our people. It's time to go out and get our people. It's time to share the love to our people. It's time to bond and join our people through righteousness. It's time to teach our people this word. It's time to get them out of those chains of darkness. It's time to get them out of that dark sleep they in. It's time to get them out of that darkness and bring them to the light. It's time to get our people out these streets. If you're going to do something in the streets, do what we're doing in the streets. You can still beat down the block. You can still beat down the block, my brother. Just beat down the block in a righteous way. You understand? You ain't out selling dope no more. You don't went from selling dope to selling hope. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't gang banging and slanging no more. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that stupid ass shit no more. You ain't hitting the club no more. You out here trying to compel your people. You trying to bid your people to the marriage. You trying to get your people to return to righteousness, so we can all share the kingdom of God. So we can all share glory. You understand? And guess what? And put the rest of these nations in slavery. Thus said the Lord, man. You understand? Give me that out and then we close it. Give me the last chapter of Psalms. Because everything them heathens did to us, they gonna get double. You so-called white people, you did this to black people, so your ass gonna get what's coming to you. You understand? You so-called white people, you did this to black people, and the only reason your ass did it, because the only reason your ass took us in slavery because we broke the commandments. But guess what? We gonna do this to y'all. See that? You so-called white people, you enslaved us, and we gonna enslave y'all ass. We gonna put chains around your goddamn neck, around your ankles. We gonna have your kids out in the goddamn fields, sweating their ass off. I'ma have you crackers pouring my tea. I'ma have you shining my boots, I'ma have you saddling my horse. I'ma have you out in my potato field. How about that? I'ma have you crackers cropping tobacco. You Edomites that the Bible speaks of. And the rest of you nations, all you going into slavery. Thus said the Lord. You can call it hate, you can call it whatever. But I know what God done told me in the Bible, and I'm finna show it to you. We gonna enslave all you heathens. Watch this. Give me Psalms 149. If you thinking I'm lying, let the congregation read it with me. Let the assembly read it with me. Got time to be out here busting my ass over no bullshit. I'm telling y'all the truth, whether y'all like it or not. I'm not giving you I'm just not giving it the way your pastor give it. Nigga, this the ghetto gospel. This the street gospel out here. You feel what I'm saying? Nigga, we out here in the streets. We out here. You understand? Out here fucking with police and everything. You know what I'm saying? We ain't in no damn petty ass church, man. We out here for all people, man. It's real out here. Y'all niggas thought it was a game. It's real out here, man. We willing to go to jail for this, man. Watch this. Ain't no damn game, man. Watch this. This is Psalm 149. I'm going to put it to the camera so y'all can see it, so y'all know it's coming from the Bible, so y'all know I ain't lying. Go ahead and read it, Psalm 149. Go ahead.
Psalm chapter 149.
Go ahead. Last verse and I'm gone.
Praise ye the Lord. Sing unto the Lord a new song. And his praise in the congregation of the saints. Verse 2. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Go ahead.
Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. Verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people.
The Lord taketh pleasure in everybody.
And his people.
See that? God don't give a fuck about these other nations, man. He cared for the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native America. He taking pleasure in his people. We don't.
He will beautify the meek with salvation.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Verse 6. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth.
Go ahead.
And a two-edged sword in their hand.
And what in their hand?
And a two-edged sword in their hand.
And what in their hand?
And a two-edged sword in their hand.
And what in their hand? Two-edged sword in their hand. What in their hand? Two-edged sword in their hand. You heathens gonna get cut up. We not playing with you. We cutting off necks and everything, man. Go ahead, read on.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
To do what? To execute vengeance upon the heathen. To do what? To execute vengeance upon the heathen. One more time. To execute vengeance upon the heathen. Go ahead.
And punishments upon the people.
And punishments upon the people. That's why I told you. All you heathens gonna get slavery. You did that shit to us and it's coming back on you, man. When Jesus Christ returned on the earth, all what you heathens did to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you gonna get double. Read on. Go ahead.
To bind their kings with chains.
To do what? To bind their kings with chains. To do what? To bind their kings with chains. To do what?
To bind their kings with chains.
To do what?
To bind their kings with chains.
To do what?
To bind their kings with chains.
To do what?
To bind their kings with chains.
One more time. To do what?
To bind their kings in chains.
To bind their kings in chains, man. To bind their kings in chains, man. To bind their kings in chains. That's what's gonna happen to you heathens for mistreating the children of Israel. To bind their kings in chains. Finishing on up. Where you at, Op?
To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
And their nose with fetters of iron. We're gonna put you in iron shackles. Go ahead.
To execute upon them the judgment written.
To execute upon them the judgment written, dishonor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord. And that was Psalms 149, starting with verse 5, going all the way down. So you can't say I ain't showed you in the Bible. You can believe what you want to believe. You can continue to believe this Christian shit that we all gonna be in heaven rejoicing together. That ain't true. We giving you the true gospel. Because that's what the oppressor told you. Because he know what's coming to him. He know them iron chains coming to him. He know slavery and oppression coming to him. Just like he put it on you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We got next, man. Who got next?
We got next.
Who got next? We got next. Who got next? We got next. Who got next? We got next. For how long? Forever. For how long? Forever. For how long? Forever. What we gonna do? Take the kingdom. What we gonna do? Take the kingdom. What we gonna do? Take the kingdom. When? Now. When? Now. When? Now. How? You all about sitting on the shot. How? You all about sitting on the shot. How? You all about sitting on the shot. One your side. Wise, Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the chosen people, man. Hands down, man. The truth is here. Accept it or reject it. It's on you. And we out. Thank you once again, Facebook. Share the video and shalom.